I'm going to start recording. Okay, so if you want to click on that and open it, and then I will share my screen. Basically, I want to just go over things really pretty quickly because it's not that much, and I don't want this to be complicated. And then if you need to go, I know Shay said she doesn't have a ton of time. That's fine. You can go. And then after that, anybody who can stay on, I just want to kind of discuss how we can not just implement this, but keep ourselves accountable and motivated. Okay, so here is the tracker. And guys, it's just like a Power Hour tracker. They've just really made it more, like way more specific. And I love that. And I've shared this with a lot of you, but at Leadership, Carl shared, he's like, we want Beachbody coaching to be the #1 most lucrative part-time job that a mom can have. And so, like, do you have to be a mom? No, their whole point is like, it's not easy to have a bunch of kids all over you and working a part-time job. They want this to be like the go-to for anybody, absolutely anybody, no matter what their load, that wants to work part-time. So this tracker, if we look at, my dog is getting put in her crate, so she might start screaming if she does. Isabella, can you come get her if you hear her?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we look at this, can you all see this? Okay, so proof the products work, workout and drink Shakeology. You can see there's no time assigned to this. This is because this is a vital behavior. So this has got the vital behaviors, and they actually tweak the vital behaviors a little bit. But there's no time assigned to this because, like, this is not really work. Like, it's imperative that we do this as coaches, or else we're kind of being fake, in my opinion. We'll become salespeople, which I think all of us, why we love coaching is because we don't want to be salesy. We want to share our lifestyle and help people. So drink Shakeology workout, you can click. So this is clickable, which is really cool. So you can just kind of keep it up on your computer if you want to. But there's no time. That's not really coming out of your booty in the chair, which is going to be like, that's our team motto for, I think, now until forever, at least until we can actually start getting our booty in the chair as a team. All right. There are no full-time working coaches on our team right now. Okay. So, like, I want to be very clear about that. None of us are full-time working coaches. None of you are working 8+ hours a day. And that's okay. I'm not right now either. I'm staring at myself while I talk to myself. Let me stare here. I'm not either, but I want you to have something in your mindset. One, that you can be a very successful part-time coach if you put your booty in the chair every day and you do these things. You don't worry about coaching. You don't worry about your business. You don't, do other things or talk to people or scroll Facebook. You actually do this, and you do it let's say 5 days a week, okay, minimum. You do it every single day, 5 days a week, long term. However, I also want you all to realize, your aim should be not only to find other people that will work part-time, duplicate this checklist, and do it consistently and want to grow, but you should also try to recruit people that could work full-time. Can you imagine if you had I'm saying you're going to turn your income around and everything around if you do this tracker every day, long term. You make it happen, and you have one coach on this side, the left side, and one on the right that also does this and commits with you and links arms with you. I'm saying you're going to see a major change in your income if you do that. Can you imagine if this year, if you also recruited one full-time coach, and I'm saying somebody who puts their booty in the chair doing this type of activity over and over and over. So like 4 times over to make it full-time on this side and this side. That would change anything. So instead of having your mindset like, I'm not good enough, I don't work hard enough, I can't be a good coach, I can't do this, I can't, I want you to just find the time in your day to get this done, and then recruit people that can do the same, and then recruit people that can do more. Because that's how you're a good coach. Not by like having people less than you so you feel important, but to have them replicate it. Okay, so connecting and inviting and following up. I don't think I need to like go through these, but it's just things like introduce yourself to people. And it starts on Thursday because that's the start of our calendar week. Do a social media post that showcases the benefits of your healthy lifestyle or has a call to action. So I really love this because it has times next to it. So the business activity tracker before was just like, it was a little less detailed, and it kind of was like, you should be getting this done in an hour. But like you sit down to do it and you're like, I can't do this in an hour. This, I feel like they've gotten like very honest and real. Like before I felt like I'm supposed to be taking 2 minutes to write a great post, but it was taking me 10 minutes. And this has 10 minutes in there. So I love that. This doesn't mean you just have to post once a day, but this is your booty in the chair. Like a really great post once a day. Anything extra is great, but you don't go and do more and more and more other stuff until you do this. And then Instagram stories, like it's recognizing how great Instagram stories, and it says about 3 minutes per post. I think that's great that they say that. So daily life, I mean, you know, what are you doing? Like, what makes you different? Are you at work? Like, just let people behind the scenes, workout clips. I usually do my workout, and then I do 3. I just push on the, the hands-free button, hold it down so it goes by itself. And I do like 3 to 4 workout moves every single day on my Instagram stories, every single day. Product use. So it says no name brand shown. So like I show my Energize all the time. Of course, Shakeology, if you do beach bars, anything you use, healthy meal or meal prep, what you're eating, invitation, promote group, poll, or call to action. So every single day, be posting something like, as you're doing all this other stuff, like, hey, I've got a coach sneak peek starting. Are you interested? Like, or I did a whole thing where I showed like a little highlight reel of stuff we've done as coaches. And I said like, this is what I'm building. And this is the payoff that I get from putting my booty in the chair and working 2 hours a day. And I did a poll and it said like, if you knew that you could follow your dreams or change your life with 2 hours a day, like, would you? And I had like 13 people say yes. Those are 13 people to invite to coaching. And that was today that we did. I didn't do that post just today. I did it like 2 weeks ago, but today we invited them and we've had like 3 people say yes to more information. So by doing those call to actions and those polls, you're just going to have people to invite all the time. Recognitions and shout outs. This is not something I have been doing on Instagram, but I've seen like Amy Silverman and a lot of top coaches do this. And I think it's really important. And I have some ideas for this I'm going to talk about after we go through this. Response to new likes, comments, views, 25 minutes. You guys, you can literally set timers. And when the timer's done, you go to the next thing. Invite at least 5 people. I'm going to look at the chat, make sure you guys can hear me. Okay, so for stories, does it mean 3 minutes each time you post? Yeah, I think 3 minutes each time you post. Yeah. Invite at least 5 people to join a challenge group. They're saying it takes 15 minutes. I think with here, you don't time yourself. You just get it done. I've showed a lot of you my method for who I invite. And if you haven't and you want me to show you that, I can. I basically invite people that comment on my post. That's a cold invite. And then every day, those 3 people I'm introducing myself to up here, initiate connections and add followers, like those people, I am continuing my relationships with them. So this is, so the one thing I feel like they don't have here, so we'd have to figure out where it went, is I don't really see like continue relationships. Initiate and add followers. Respond to new stuff. Invite at least 5 people to join a challenge group. Follow up with people you've invited. So I don't really see like, so the group that I'm in with corporate is where we give feedback. So like, I'm going to give them the feedback. And I think somebody did that. Where would it go? Like getting through your inbox? Because to me, that's after I initiate, that's like important to do. But I think like the point of all of this, guys, is that even your inbox, like this is where the income comes from. it's these activities. It's not just continuing relationships. And then getting people results. So they put 30 minutes to contribute to your challenge group and to recognize achievement. I'm going to be honest. I have been doing all of this and then about 30 minutes of continuing relationships. And I have not been spending 30 minutes at all recognizing achievement or contributing to your challenge group. The only way I've been contributing to my challenge group is I have a message pod with my people, and I just comment and I'm honest in there. I just act like one of them in there, and that takes me, 1 or 2 minutes. So these are areas where I guess I need to get, more disciplined. And let me see. I see a comment. Should we respond to each Instagram story view? So Lori, that's kind of up to you. So I think it all just comes to prioritizing. So when it's the respond to new comments, likes, or views, I start with comments, new comments, and then I would go to then I'd probably go to new story views. So if I didn't have enough new comments for the day, I would then go to Instagram story views. And then the last one is do personal development, engage in personal professional development. So this is their tracker. I mean, honestly, for me, I probably would, where it says do personal development, I probably would take that 15 minutes and make that into answer emails and messages. And I wouldn't count personal development. Cause me, that's not work. I like that. So I do that. I listen in the car, or I'll do that by myself, or I'll take a bath. So for me, that doesn't feel like work. The rest of this feels like work. It's not. To me, it's not. I'm actually really enjoying it now that I have time limits. But so that's kind of up to you whether or not you want to put that 15-minute timer on. I'll probably put that timer on, but then use it to answer messages. And then it has a little bit of a tracker, number of new followers, challengers, success club, new coaches. Does anybody have any questions about this part of it? And this is basically all it is. The rest is me showing you some other resources and us figuring out how we want to support each other.
I actually started one of these today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I saw it. You posted the link in Thrive, and I downloaded it.
How'd it go?
Good, actually, and I didn't feel like I floundered as much as I have been. I feel like I actually moved through everything a little bit smoother.
Did you set timers, or how did you?
I didn't set a time. I mean, I had a timer going because we were at the pool for swim. So when I started, I had I'm going against the clock of when my kid's gonna get out. So I knew how long that I had, and I just kind of worked through everything. I had Teamsy open in another window, and kind of as I hit the marks, I checked things off. But it was just nice to have it all really listed instead of being, I feel like for the past few days, I've been kind of going back and forth in a couple of different places rather just in one spot to really track everything.
And you might want to even have a notebook or something, or people have notes, and just have timers, but kind of get an idea of how many people things are, how many people. I tried introducing myself to 20 people every day, and I was like, too much. 10, too much. 5 even. I'm just doing 3 because it piles up. My list from 6 weeks is so long now. But so it might be good to just kind of figure out how long or how many people you're kind of getting through, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Any other questions, guys?
Oh my gosh, inviting over 30 people is so overwhelming.
Yeah.
I have to have the tracker and every day, because I kind of message throughout the day. So when I first start my day, I go back through my messages from the night before and then write down everybody I really talked to. Yeah. But I was trying to commit to 30 people a day, and it's hard.
Yeah, it's really hard to keep it straight in your brain.
Careful, Kelly.
So as you guys are tracking people, because this doesn't talk about tracking, but as you are tracking the people in the relationships, I say always think about it every time you're going back through a conversation of sorting it. Either we're done, this is over, we're done, it's just not worth my time, or like this is a maybe follow-up kind of thing, like a maybe, or like we're gonna be married, like you were gonna be on my team, I'm never gonna leave you alone. I don't mean like that. I just mean like we're friends. Like it's not weird if I message, it's not weird if I comment, it's okay if you say no. I've got one girl that I'm like so sure that would be so perfect that I don't even care that she didn't write me back. Like she's commenting on my stuff again. We're making a friendship. So I used to, Kaylee, just look at everybody and be like, I can't keep up. And it just was like, everybody's the same. But I want you to have the mentality is like, not everybody's the same. So you can make those big invites and but you're trying to cull it down. Like you're trying to work end up with a manageable list. And if you ever, like sometimes even doing this consistency, once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, you will need to just put on a movie and kind of hash people out. Just like go through your list and just be like, they're off, they stay on, keep on going. You know what I mean? So it gets smaller. All right. So 3 things. This is the basics. Okay. 3 things is, one is I do not want this to be like a training group just because that's not part of this, right? It's not part of that thing. So if I didn't add up the time, but I think it's like 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 20 minutes, something like that. So like one thing I want you guys to do is I want you to, while you're on the call, and then message me, okay? Comment and then message me privately if you haven't already. How, like, can you commit? Like, let's say it's 2.5 hours. Will you commit to 2.5 hours a day of doing this booty in the chair? And if you cannot, I want you to look at this schedule and I want you to decide how much time you can, and then where are you going to trim the fat. My personal opinion, if this is an hour and 40 minutes right here, and this is 30 minutes right here. So that's what, 2 hours and 10 minutes? Does that sound right? 2 hours and 10 minutes plus 15. In my personal opinion, I'm doing 2 hours a day. Personal development isn't counting for me. That's just on the side because I listen to that. And then this challenge group and recognize achievement, cut it down to 20 minutes, cut it down to 15 minutes. Like I honestly don't think that you need to be doing this for 30 minutes. I think that's way too long. So if you just cut this down by a little bit, then it's at 2 hours. So let me know, can you commit to 2 hours booty in the chair 5 days a week? And if not, how much time can you, and how are you going to alter this to do what you can? Because what they're saying here isn't do 2 hours a day or you're gonna die, but this is what we believe in just 2 hours a day, but with 2 hours a day is going to make people's income go up. That's what they're saying. They're not lying to you and saying 30 minutes or an hour. They're saying 2 hours. So if you put in an hour or 2 hours every 3 days a week, I think it's basically, they aren't so sure like what the increase, like how much it's going to increase. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they're trying to just kind of play it straightforward. Let's see, looking at the group chat. Okay, I can't do 7 days a week. Yeah, I can't either, Callie. I'm doing 5. So that's what I'm asking the team to commit to and kind of become our theme and our thing is booty in the chair 5 days a week, 2 hours a day. Anything extra, great. But that's it. If you want to work 4 hours a day on a Saturday, or if you want to work, here and there beyond your booty in the chair on the computer, figure out that time in your calendar. Liam, what are you doing? No, then don't be in her cage. Tend to do 1 to 2 days a week that are 4 hours and 36 minutes the other day. So for corporate food feedback, does it have to be 2.5? I don't think so, but here's what I found is that I was doing the big chunking because some of my days were just so extreme. And so, but it wasn't this, I could not make my engagement on Instagram. I could not develop relationships and I couldn't get my engagement going. And since I have been doing this 2 hours a day at 2 hours, at least it's really like 2 hours at a time. If not, it's like 1 hour at a time, like 1 hour here, 1 hour here, or 30 minutes and an hour and a half usually. But within the day, I've had my followers on Instagram go up by like, I think 300. I have the people that I'm talking to are so high quality. I'm having people say yes to learning more about coaching. I'm having so many people say yes. People that like just comment on my stupid memes that have nothing to do with fitness say yes to more information about challenge groups. My views on Instagram stories are going from like 150 to 500 because I started just doing it every single day instead of doing the chunks. So I do think it's really, really, really important, but it's not like you're not going to die and fall off the face of the earth. It's just, I think they're trying to like play it straight. And I am too, with what I think it is, but it's just, where's the PIEF? Let me put it back in here again, Abby. There it is. So I think it's just like really figuring out, and that's the other thing, message me and you can put it here, like, where are those 2 hours going to come from? You got to plan it. Like, so for me, I'm sleeping with my laptop next to my bed, charged, and I woke up this morning at 5 a.m. I have an app called Sleep Cycle that gently wakes me up. It wakes me up according to my rhythm. It can tell my breath. But I woke up to 2 little boys, one on each side of me. And I was like, oh. I leaned over, picked up my laptop. I was in the dark, put a pillow on my lap, and I just started working. And it was quiet. And I had nothing else in my head. I had no fear. I had no anxiety. I had gotten 4.5 hours of sleep last night. That was my fault because I went to bed like at midnight. But I did it, and it felt so good because then I went to my kids' school the whole day and came home and worked out and ate dinner with my family and like zero stress. So you just have to figure out, do you think everybody, if they can, should try to get some work done before their kids wake up or in the morning before going to work? But you don't have to. You just need to write it down on a piece of paper. Schedule your time like an appointment in your calendar. Exactly. Okay, so then the next thing I wanted to show you, tell me if it switches, did it switch to this Facebook group? So corporate, this is the group that I'm in where we give feedback. And they have units. So now you can do units like learning sections in Facebook. So if you look at Thrive, you might have noticed that now we have a unit section in our Facebook group. And I'm going to basically be adding all of their content to ours. But I'm going to do it slowly, and you do not have to watch it. What it's just basically going to be is it's going to be taking short videos from top coaches that are basically expounding like on those different little things that they say to do and helping us like with trainings on those activities that we're doing day after day after day. And so what I'll be doing is just every couple days, I'll be loading Liam. Hey, Liam, can you be quiet? I'll be loading one of these videos into the units of Thrive. You'll see it pop up on the feed like Brooke did. It just goes into the feed, but you can also reference these units at any time. This is not mandatory. This is not part of this group. It's just for those that like to learn. Okay, then the next 2 things are, I wanted to talk about motivating each other, keeping each other accountable, and then something that I would like to see our team do, because I think it would help us to post on Instagram stories more. I think, Liam, I can still hear you, babe. I think it would help us to post on Instagram stories. I think it would give all of our viewers like the idea, like see that we really are a community, that we really are like join to each other instead of just talking about join my team or I love these girls, but it's like, whatever, who are these people? I follow, and I've told some of you this, I started following this, Liam, hey buddy, I'm going to have to call dad in, okay, to talk to you if you can't. This Instagram person, and on her stories, it was so cute. Like she did this one thing and she used hashtag carpool karaoke, and like all of her friends, I don't know all of her friends, I don't know who these people were, but they looked so fun. And so they would put on their Instagram stories them doing like singing along to like some song on the radio in their car while they were waiting for or like car line or something like that, karaoke, while they're waiting for their kids in the car line. And they would tag her and use her hashtag, and then she would share theirs on there. So it was like this really interesting TV show. So she would say like, she would do her singing and she's like, then she would maybe write something on there like, don't forget to show me your car line karaoke, use this hashtag and tag me. And then she would do another story, and then she would like post somebody else's. And so then it's like you're watching somebody different, and it gave you this feeling like she had all these friends and they were like really connected. And I thought it was very, very cool. So this is just kind of a little sample idea, and this, I would like your all's feedback on it. But I thought it would be nice, if we kind of assigned each day of the week to a theme or a hashtag where we knew that we could depend on each other, or at least some of us, to do some repostable material. And so these are all based on, if you guys can see that says like Meal Prep Monday, can you see that? Okay, so these are all based on the business activity tracker where it says what stories. We've got daily life, workout clips, product use, healthy meal prep, invitation or call to action, and then recognition or shout outs. So I thought it could be pretty cool if we just said like, you know, Mondays, we talked about meal prep, and we're like, I've got my meals prepped for the week, or today I'm making this recipe. It's my favorite. Show me your favorite show me your meal prep or your favorite healthy recipe. Use this hashtag and tag me. So you would tell your viewer to do that, okay? And then you would share yours and we would tag each other. So I would maybe show a picture of, it would either be my meal prepped meals, or it could be like my favorite zoodles recipe, just a picture, like one little thing. And whoever wanted to be part of this Instagram stories ring, sorry, my kids are crying. Hey, Sam, can you help Kai? We tag each other, but we'd like make it really small and put it in the corner so they can't see it, but it goes to each other's message box, and I would repost yours. So if you tagged me and you had your picture of your meal prep or a recipe, then I would say like, oh my gosh, Brooke is cooking, you know, Brooks, what's something that you would cook?
Which one of us? Are there two of us on here? Or am I crazy?
Yeah, that's what I just said to you, but I wasn't unmuted. I'm like, which one?
What's something you guys both of you cook yummy things? Well, let's say
I don't know. I made sausage pasta today. Does that count?
Yes. Okay, so let's say she made sausage pasta, okay? And she's like, oh my gosh, like Brooke, my friend Brooke has me, and I could say my friend, or I could say, since I do Busy Girl Society, I could say busy girl, boot camp babe, Brooke, whatever. You know, you can just like throw in lingo, is making sausage pasta. This is like the perfect lunch, half carbs, half protein, throw in some veggies and we're good, you know, and I would repost it. And she could be talking to the camera, or it could just be her picture. And I'd say maybe like, here's another one. Kaylee's a chemist. She's like, look at how cute her take to work lunch is. She's got everything covered. And I'm not going to send people to her. Like they could go check her out, I guess, but I'm just going to call her Kaylee, and I'm going to tag her really small where nobody can see so that she gets the notification. Same thing with like, so Tuesdays I was thinking if we can kind of like figure out, and somebody can just kind of start it. Just say like, it could be about coaching. It could be about challenge groups. It could be like, you guys, I just have to share like what coaching has done for me. Like the main thing is that I lost 30 pounds, or I'm like, it's so cool to be able to go and buy my kids Halloween costumes with my coaching. Like I used to have to go to Goodwill and use the hashtag that we do and tag the people in the ring. And then I could say, let's say Bryn posted one and hers was like, I used to be like, because like once I joined a boot camp or coaching or whatever, like I used to be just thinny. Like I was just like so skinny, but I had no muscles. She's like, I don't think I would have understood how to train my body without, you know, without these boot camps or without these challenge groups or whatever. And then I would share hers and I'd be like, you know, like, look, like Bryn's testimony. So you can kind of see, I've got some ideas, just like We Work Wednesday would be Booty in the chair, where we're all working, like what it looks like. Lori shared one today of her desk. That's good. You're using the sliders. And I reshared it. You're doing like a circus thing. Flex Friday. So we could just say like, you know, basically just act like we're working out together. Just say like virtual workout crew in the house, and we could like each, you know, do a flex or a move and just share each other's things so that they like, oh my gosh, these people are friends. This is a community. Otherwise it's like, we're alone, but we're saying we are together. We're alone, but they're never seeing us. Saturdays, shout outs, that can look like whatever, just a supportive community. And then Sundays, I think we just share each other's before and afters all day long. So anyway, let me know if this kind of like Instagram stories ring is something you want to be part of. Again, just message me with this stuff and I will put together a list of tags. Give me your Instagram name and I'll put together a list of tags, and then we can all share it on our notes, or maybe I'll do like a synced note and with these hashtags, whatever we come up with. And then that way when you're doing it, you'll just know who to tag. And you can tag, you don't have to tag like, if there's 20 of us, you don't have to tag 20. You can just pick like 5, you know, or whatever. Okay, that is that. Though, I know. Kendall said, I said, so fun Thursdays. I couldn't figure out what would start with TH that would make it like that we could just show us being silly or having fun. So yes, Kendall. Oh, what is so fun?
Thirsty Thursdays.
Thirsty Thursdays.
We could do our Energize.
That's true. Thirsty Thursdays. Thirsty Thursday.
The former drinker in me.
Energize. Shake all of
You guys realize what kind of other things are going to pop up underneath that tag, right? We're bringing in a whole new audience now. Let's do it.
Well, we can use different hashtags. I just am trying to like do little coin names so that like we can remember. So we can.
I'm with Kaylee as a former party girl. I say we use Thirsty Thursday and drag the rest of them in and let them know when they're hitting 30 that they gotta turn it around.
So that can be like our product placement day. You know, like our product placement day, and then so that's good. Even water, yep. Okay, Shay, starting this Thursday, Wednesday teaching days. Send my booty in the chair time. Perfect. Love the stories in a group. Okay, so yeah, you guys just message me separately. And then I think the last thing that I wanted to know is how you want to just keep ourselves accountable with this activity. Like my first inclination, I reminded you guys of this call in groups of 5. So my thought was maybe I'll just put people that want to be in groups of 5. I mean, I think whoever is on this call, like I kind of want to just write it down because I feel like I don't necessarily want to put people, not that everybody that wanted, like Sarah Lynn lives in the UK. She couldn't be on this call, but I kind of feel like I'm not going to take somebody that says I'm all in, but that's not here as seriously as somebody that is here. Doesn't mean, I mean, this is a last minute call. I'm not dogging anybody because I can't do everything all the time, especially last minute. However, like I said, I think what I'm going to do is write down who's here. And if you guys give me the yes, then I will put you all to like in group of 5 before I add you with other people that aren't here, if that makes sense. Let me, Liv, I can't help you, okay? Yes, you can. Okay, I'm writing now. Kaylee, I don't know, baby. Keely, Bren, Shay, Watson. Did you guys see anybody else hop off? Lori, Callie.
Susan was on for a little while.
Okay. Susan, Kendall, Brooke P, Brooke V, Nancy, Amanda. Whose is that that's black? Okay, Abby. Can't tell if I missed anybody. I feel like I'm not seeing all the pages. 9, 12. I guess, did it sound like I said everybody's name? I think I did. Okay. Does that sound like something that would be helpful to do like in a group of 5? And I don't have a total vision for this, except that I know with my challenge groups, what I'm doing is we have a message pod and we're just keeping it really light. And like, I'm not dragging them along. So like, I'm like, I did my workout, you guys, that was so hard, like so hard. Progress over perfection. Let's get it done. You know, like you're doing great. I just said that. Or sometimes I take a sweaty selfie. So like I could see it just being every day that you do your booty in the chair, you take a picture and you're like my office view, something like that. Or maybe you say, hey, heads up guys, don't forget it's Meal Prep Monday. I'm going to be doing a stories post and tagging you, keep your eyes out. You know, something like that. Or you could say like, does anybody want to hop on and do like a power hour tomorrow morning? I'm having a hard time getting up, but anybody want to do that? Any other ideas, guys? Like, so at leadership, something they said, and it was like one of the biggest things that stuck with me. Hey, Lori, I see you now on there too. One of the things they said that stuck with me the most is like that management, which coaching a team can get overwhelming when you're trying to manage people. And they said management is when, and this is what I used to do, and I probably do it. I'm like trying to figure out how to be a leader. I was always a manager. I had employees, and I was always trying to like tell them what to do, and like, is when you go and you look at who you've got and you try to drag them along and you manage and then you mentor, or you multiply and find them, and then you mentor them, like you teach them what to do, and then you try to motivate them to do it, and then you model it. Like then you'll say, you know, here, okay, I'm doing it. And they said leadership is when you flip it upside down and you model it first. So you're like, I'm doing it. Like I'm here doing it too. And then you motivate. Come on, guys, let's do this. Like we can do this. This is not a big deal. Create a vision. And then you mentor. So then it's like, hey, let's watch one of these videos together on the training, you know, or let's hop on and get on a power hour. Or Ashley, could you find us more training, or could you get with my pod and could you teach us a little bit more about how you're growing your Instagram or something like that? And then it's multiply. Then it's like that all creates fruit and creates more instead of kind of like doing it the opposite. So I think just practicing that kind of model with each other in these groups is what is going to help us all be successful long term. Because if you bring people in and you recruit people as coaches, but you're trying to mentor them before you really understand what you're doing, you're going to be scared not mentor them. And if you try to motivate them without really understanding them and knowing them, you just are going to be guessing. So it's really just modeling it. And I think that's just comes down to booty in the chair. I'm working for 2 hours. I'm working for 2.5 hours, and I'm doing this checklist, and that's what it is. And then these Instagram story loops or rings or tagging, whatever we want to call it. I think that's a way that we can also show, if we think about this, if you're going to be recruiting from Instagram and Instagram stories, and they see us working together and tagging each other, what do you think your new coach that you recruit from Instagram or Instagram stories is going to think they're supposed to do? It's going to be so natural. They're going to be like, oh, so when do I get to get featured? So like, do I get to be tagged? And you can't forget, you have to be like, hey, do you want to be involved in this thing? Because they're going to want to do it. Like, that's what it is going to be to them, is they're going to be part of this club. So I'm really excited about this, because this is something that I think is really simple. We're already doing these actions by agreeing to doing this checklist. I haven't seen it done with any other coaches. And you guys, I just feel like we're like on the cusp of like a really, really, really big turnaround. Because do we all have 8 to 10 hours a day to work? No, but I feel like we've been stressing ourselves out trying to find that time and beating ourselves up because we can't. But I believe we have like some of the hardest working people on our team with the highest character. And so this is where your character comes through, where you say you're going to do the work, you show up and you do the work, you get focused, and you find that time. Last thing, I know I keep saying last thing, but it's because I remembered other things I got ready, is I do have a tracker, and it's if you wanted to actually measure your growth. And this is what I used to use for me. So you can see I haven't done it in like a year or two, which is really embarrassing. But basically you can track your social media, like how many followers and stuff like that. You can track how many invites, how many no's if you want to. Like, I would probably just write this on a paper and then at the end of the week write it in. But then you write in things like how many Success Club points for the week, how many new coaches, how many total coaches, how many coaches do you have with Success Club 1 or 5. And guess what? It's okay if these are like 0 right now, because it's progress. The goal is to using this Booty in the Chair checklist to track our progress. So like, I have a First Income Center or Business Center, and then my husband's, and then you add them up, and then you would see what the what the increase is. So you could measure from week to week and month to month where you saw an increase. So I do have a blank one right here. And this is also something that you could do in your group is you could, I'm going to put this in the chat box. You could, and I'm going to put myself in your groups, and I'm also going to put Shay, because I invited Shay to add her coaches, like her team. And if you guys, I think all of you know, Shay is my coach. So I've kind of asked her if we can run a lot of our stuff together, because I just think it's just smart to pair with your upline and run stuff together. So I'm going to put her on all the pods, but we don't want to, like, I can't lead all of them. So I need you guys to lead and create that culture within your pod. And the tracker, if you want to like make that a thing within your pod, like, hey, you guys, are you doing the tracker? Did you track? Did anybody see any difference this week in your Success Club, in your income? Like, it may not be like every week or every month, but yeah, that now I think is it for all of this. I think daily workout and then weekly tracker sharing would be great. Workout or work? Well, the small group idea, it makes me think of the 12-week pods. Yeah, I know. I used to love those pods. I really love those. I feel like this is where community comes from. And then within your pods, you can also, when you have new coaches and you're recruiting new people, you can form new pods together, like for them. So like what would be super cool is if you guys, as you got going, is if you made goals for duplication. So it's like, hey, you guys, why don't we all try to recruit one business building coach this month so that we can make them into a pod by November 1st. And then November 1st, you try to have 5 people. You just duplicate yourself every month, one time. You can have half a bagel too. Tell her half. the kids, they're like, can I have bread while you're on the phone? You can't monitor me? Sure. Just have a piece of toast. Pods are just message group threads. That's what we call them, like group message threads. Thoughts on separate Instagram accounts. Sorry, I have too much identifying private. Brooke, is it okay if I say it out loud?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just don't know how to use the chat thing, so I didn't know what I was doing.
She just asked, what are my thoughts on having separate Instagram accounts? She felt like she has too much personal stuff on the one, so it's private. I think you just do.
I feel like my Instagram being private is a problem, but I also feel like I'd have to spend a good couple hours going through it to make sure I don't have anything on there that I don't want the world. Divorce what woman problems, but like I don't necessarily want like all of my business out there for certain people to see, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Then I think, okay, like make it separate. Just decide, make sure people that are on your personal one, if they need to be, that they're following your other one too. You know what I mean? And just make sure that your new one, that you just like commit it to growth and you like work on the people that, just growing it. Like Brooke Price she changed her photography one to health and fitness because it just made sense to leverage those followers. And I did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I switched, I only had like 200 people though. But I was like, I just want to keep them all. Like I didn't really have anything going on. So I think you just go with your gut. If it's holding you back from posting and being who you should be to grow your business, then you know what I mean? Like take that answer, either keep the one private, start a new one or whatever. Okay. Anybody have any other questions? Or feel like there's any like safeguards or check-in points or anything else you'd like to see that would help you? Like weekly calls as a group, monthly, power hours, like if I'm getting up at 5 a.m., do you want like me to say anything or do like a live, I don't know, like what can help you guys? I want this to be like, we're doing this together and I want to measure my growth because the only way for my income to grow is for me to multiply myself. So, I'm right there with you. And I want you guys to ask questions like, okay, somebody's interested in coaching. What do I send them? I just sent Kaylee today. Poor Kaylee. So I had like several people say yes to learning more about coaching. And I was kind of found myself, I was like, I don't even know what to send to people anymore. Like I have so many tools. I have like a texting thing. I have a short videos, long videos. I saw some coaches like at Leadership where they have that. I'll add it here in case you guys haven't seen it. It's one coach, Brooke Varma. Brooke Varma. Sorry. I just started saying Brooke and it came out your last name. Brooke said, made, and it's just kind of general, but like good. I'm going to put it in the comments. And so some of them were saying they sent that one and they sent their own story. So like they turned the camera on them, got themselves together, got in good lighting. And they're like, this is my coaching story. This is how I was before. This is what happened to make me start. This is how I am now. So that kind of thing. So they do that to connect to the person on a personal level, say kind of like, this is for you if, and then to talk more about the business, a quick view, they do the other one. So anyway, don't be hesitant to ask questions like that, things like that.
Is anybody else doing the STEM social? Are you still doing it, Ash?
Yes, and you guys, oh my gosh, like it has been so amazing.
Affiliate link for STEM social now.
What?
You have an affiliate link for STEM social.
Oh, I know. I feel like bad sending that out though. Brooke's like, do you have an affiliate link for STEM social? I'm like, I'll sign up for one because if she does it, then I don't even know if I get like $5 or something, but like, that's not why I'm talking about it. I didn't even know they had.
I am all about affiliate links.
I know, but like, so here's my STEM social and I'm like so thankful for it because I was not, my Instagram has lost followers, like by the hundreds and thousands in the Liam. There's no toast for Liam. I am so sorry. So I have gained 236 people since the 27th. And it says like my estimated new followers are 2,000 people in the next month. And I'm like so excited. It tells me like like this target is doing well and should only be replaced if you have too many great targets. Like this one isn't so great, so I can delete this one if I want to. It's like my follow back ratio is 10% on this one. I had like a bunch where it was really low, so I just took those off. So basically you kind of narrow it down. And basically what it is you tell it which people, Instagram accounts, you want their followers from. And if I go to reports, growth, oh, wait, is that right now? So look, you can see like.
Oh, I haven't looked at it online.
This is when I started it. And so I was losing people still. I was like, oh my gosh, I suck so bad. Seriously, who's like losing people while they're trying to gain them? Me. But you can see like I'm going up a lot every day. And they're just, Liam, I can't right now. I know, it's just bedtime. And so when it's bedtime, then I have to, okay. Just because your sister said you can't have any toast doesn't mean they're their boss, okay? So you can tell Dad I told you can have a piece of toast, okay? Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, so no, I can't. He can have half a bagel.
He didn't do anything.
Okay, he was such a good reader that his teacher gave him a book, so he's getting half a bagel for being such a good reader and improving.
But he already got a book for that.
Yeah, it's really important. Okay, so you can see, so like what this is saying is the people that have followed me, it's not just the people, like their followers, but it's people that liked or commented on their posts. So these are engaged people. So I had 17 or 18 from this person, 18 people that liked or like engaged with her post, which is really better than people that followed me. So I feel like that's really good. And you can see these are all the people that I turned off because it was, 0.7 or 9, it was a lot smaller ratio. So it didn't make sense to spend time on them. You can go and see, I just think this is so cool. Like, look, it shows me exactly who followed and it shows me why. So like these people that look kind of like whatever, who are these people? This is not from STEM Social, right? There's nothing next to it. But see, like these people that are real people, or this one at least, it tells me this is who it's from. It's from this target. Or it will tell me like which ones. And these people, like this chaotic mommy, and this beach Pilates girl, these are people that I found in screenshot because I thought they were ideal coaches. So these are the people that I added to my spreadsheet. Just a second, I got it. Okay, I'm really sorry. It's getting to a whole different level. So these are different people that I found. I commented on 5, or I liked 5, commented on 3 posts, and I private messaged them. And I said, oh my goodness, I found your thing through this thing. I love it. You're amazing. Here's something I like, and here's a question. And they followed me back, and they wrote me back. So like the really good people that are following me are either because I found them and I messaged them, or they're because like this good person, it's because this STEM Social found them through this account that I found. So you have to find really good, this one too, you have to find really good accounts to put into the target. So you basically just put them into the target, and I suggest you find accounts that have like 20,000 to 100,000, like 20 to 50,000 followers to pull from. They could be less though. It could be like 5,000 to 10,000. And so here's the ones that I've narrowed it down to now. So it's not just like the random girl next door. It's accounts that like are very defined. And I just look at their followers real quick on Instagram, and I see if at a glance they look good. And it also goes and it unfollows them. So right now it's unfollowing people. So it followed a bunch and it's unfollowing, and you can put in there how many people you want it to. You can say like the speed, gender, follow limit. So it's like after I'm following 7,000 people, it starts to unfollow. I want them to have a profile picture, just these different types of things. So you do.
I have a quick question. Did you say it's already unfollowing people? Because mine's like, it has not. Well, okay. So before like you even reached out to me, and like when I was still starting to become a coach, I was like, how do I get my Instagram followers up? Right. So like I Googled it, and like, of course, a bunch of ads came up like get followers. I was like, oh, like followers for $20. Sure. Let's do it. And then like I paid $20 for like 5,000 followers. Right. And when I got STEM Social, and like, I mean, there was no interaction from them. There was no likes on my picture. They were just all fake accounts. When I got STEM Social, all of a sudden it dropped from 5,000 to 2,500. But it doesn't say that it unfollowed those people. So I don't know if those like accounts were deleted.
Yeah, they might have been.
And then like that's what happened. But as of right now, I'm up to like following 5,700 people, and I'm like, I need to get rid of like some of these people.
It might be your follow limit.
Okay.
I had to play with it too, because I felt like things weren't happening at first either. And then you can put who should STEM be allowed to unfollow. I put just people that they followed. But what I had to do this summer while I was like in a funk is I don't want you guys to think I watch movies and TV all the time. But when I'm in a bad funk and I just cannot message people. That's why I get up early now, because you can't be in the funk when you just woke up. I will go and I will use the app Cleaner or Captivate, and I will just look through my followers, and I'll like all the people that use like yucky selfie or like Snapchat filters on their profile picture, or sticking out their tongue, or they're a guy or their thing. I just go tap, 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 and I unfollow them really quickly. And let me show you what that looks like. So
what were those called? Cleaner?
Yeah, so let me show you. If you don't want to use STEM Social, and I get it, you don't want to pay, like that might actually be like a goal, like a growth goal for you guys, is to say, hey, well, I'm going to put my booty in the chair, and once I make X amount, like $150 for 2 months, or $300 for 2 months, or whatever, then I'm going to get one of those packages. But before I did that, let me show you what you can do. The same thing, it just doesn't have all the cool analytics. It's a little more manual. This would not be booty in the chair work. I think it would be Netflix in bed work. So Cleaner and Captivate are the two names of the apps, and they're kind of like opposite apps. Let me see if the Captivate one's a little faster to get up. So it just gives you these big pictures, so it's easier to see the people. But the way you would find people is you would go to, well, this is who you are following. So if I wanted to unfollow people, what I could do is I could see, look at all these good people, guys. This is who I'm following, but this is the type of people now that are following me back. Whereas before, okay, do I need pink toes and hair bows? No. Sometimes I enter giveaways just for the heck of it. So that's probably what this is. So I just click here. See, I'm so happy, you guys. I used to have the weirdest people.
I've been getting so many weird men and creepers sending me messages ever since I did the Sim Social.
Yeah, so what I did is I had those people too, because the same thing. So I just was in bed and I would just watch a movie and I would just go through the people, and I mean it was like click 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 click. I was just like so bad. So I would just click all the people that were and you can expect to lose some followers when you do this. So like I don't want to follow these businesses. I don't want to follow that guy. And then I would go to actions, unfollow, start now, done. You know, they're done. So I would just do that. And you can make a local queue. So like if I made, it will do 40 at a time. If I made more than 40 at a time, then I would go to actions and I can add it to the local queue right here. Oops, I didn't actually mean to do that. And then what that does, if I go to my settings and I go to pending queue, it has 1,820 people that I'm trying to either follow, or if I'm sure I went to the very bottom, it would be unfollow. And you can go to nighttime mode and click start. And so like it basically starts unfollowing 20 people every 60 seconds. So it makes it to where it's like not like, it doesn't look like a bot, if that makes sense. So that's how I would unfollow. The way I would follow or find people is while I'm just again, it's like, this is not part of my booty in the chair. This is just what I do for fun. You can go to discover. I just try to go through like down a little rabbit hole. So she says she's an online health coach. So it's like, I want to know if she's a Beachbody coach. I feel like she maybe does Plexus so I'm not gonna, you find somebody that's like your type person, and maybe you don't search from here, but let's say this person is, okay, she's twin fashion beauty bloggers, cute, she's got good followers. You could go to her followers, and look at them and be like, okay, they look really, really good. So then you could either sit here and go like, her, and just pick out the ones that you wanted to follow, and then do actions, follow, start now, and it does it all, right? Or I could put it into Stim Social. If I wanted that, you can go to quick select, select all, and you could just follow them all. But yeah, basically that's what I do, except I'm like really, really picky about who I'm going to try to follow, if that makes sense. So if you guys are ever like, I'm just striking out with the people to get followers from, then you can ask me and say like, do these people look good? And I'll just try to be honest based on what I know about you. If I think you're, you know, aiming at the right thing. But I used to find people that were not at all like me, or that I felt like were desperate and needed money. And that's who I would target, because I was like scared of people like this girl. I was like, she's too put together. I can't do that. But then I just started thinking, well, if she became a coach, she'd probably kill it. So why not? why not try to make friends with her? And why not see if she'll follow me back? And why not introduce myself to her? And why not make a relationship? And why not invite her? So that's my new strategy now, is to stop thinking less of myself based on how I look or how much new clothes I have or, you know, all that stuff. And start looking at, do I see leadership, like character and leadership in this person? And or do they have influence? Are they influencers? Like, are people going to listen to what they say? Because, you know, why not? Like, why not have those people on the team? Okay. All right, guys. Any questions before we go? I know that kind of went off on a side direction, but I'm always very happy to answer any questions. STEM Social, Bryn, 10, I guess for the lowest package is $10. I'm doing the extreme one, which is $30.29, and then the next level up is where you can, it goes at extreme speed, which is way faster. There's a 5-day free trial. The extreme speed is way faster than the 5-day. Like the 5-day one you saw, I like lost 3 people, gained 7, so I'm sure I would have like lost 20 without it.
I waited till the last day of the 5-day trial, and they gave me a bonus code for 20% off my first month.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Yeah, so do that. That's really good. Yeah, but Captivate does the same thing. And it'd be better to do a $10 slow one, or do it for a month for $20 20% off and see where you get. I mean, hey, if you got 800 followers or 1,000 followers, like for $30, and then you cut it off and you just worked on developing those people, you know what I mean? Like, that's not bad either. Especially if you're struggling like me to get any new people. So, all right, if there's nothing else, then I will look forward to your messages with your commitment. And if you want to do the Instagram like ring, and if so, what your Instagram name is. All right, night, ladies. We'll be set.
Bye.
Thank you, Ash.
You're so welcome. Thanks for showing up, guys.